Hello, my name is Allison Carmen, and welcome to my podcast, 10 Minutes to Less Suffering. And the name of today's podcast is The Seed of Where Manifesting Really Happens. And I know a lot of us, when we think about the idea of manifesting, some of us try to avoid negative thinking and try to engage more in positive thinking, or if you're like me, maybe thinking. And then there's this aspect of allowing, of letting go, so we could be more open to things in our lives. But for me, there's something beneath all of these aspects that we often don't talk about. The seed of where manifesting really happens. And ultimately, that ground is filled with our fear of uncertainty, that we're so afraid of the unknown. And we don't realize it, but that's the root of what's causing the negative thinking. And that's the root of what allows us to either hold our intentions or not. And it's also the root of why we start attaching and we start suffering greatly. And we start resisting the things that are happening in our lives, and we're not able to let go and not resist, is because this fear makes us believe that we can't have the life that we want. This fear affects the decisions that we're going to make. So I think the 4 quadrants of manifesting are really: are you looking for certainty? Are you looking for probability? Are you looking for possibility? Or are you willing to engage in the full spectrum of uncertainty? Now, regardless what you choose, you can manifest. But are we limiting what's possible? Are we not creating our true intention because we're afraid? Is it hard to hold positive thoughts because we're afraid of the unknown? Are we walking around in a sense with one eye closed and not really looking at everything that can be? And if you want, you can even draw a graph to really look at where you are. The upper left could be certainty. The upper right can be probability. The lower left could be possibility. And the lower right can be uncertainty. Now, if you're someone who needs certainty, you might always choose something that's less risky. And you might feel content with that. You go for the job that you know you have the exact skills for. You like the person who feels safer to go out with, to be with. You choose a lot of the same things, the familiar. Sometimes you stay with the same friends, the same people, and you're not even thinking about excitement or boredom. You are thinking about what you know and how safe you can make your life. And it is okay if you choose this. However, the only thing is that there really isn't certainty in life. So I have worked with so many people who have chosen what they thought they knew, and then life still throws you a curveball. You marry the guy you thought was safe, and he leaves. You take that job that you thought was safe, and the company goes under. And the part I think is even more difficult is that when you choose what you think is certain, it often doesn't align with our true, authentic self. Another manifestation experience that affects our choices is the upper right quadrant, which I call probability. Now, if you're in that mindset where you're willing to engage in probabilities, you're willing to take a little more risk. You're willing to say, okay, I've never done this before, but it seems like there's an 80% chance this is going to work out based on the past, based on my skills. So I'm going to take that risk. I'm going to go for that job. I'm going to go for that trip. I'm going to go for that person because it seems like it's going to work out. So probability compared to certainty, again, is more expansive thinking because you are taking a type of leap. You're not staying in the same situation, but you're making the choice because it looks like it's going to happen. It's probable. Now, will this align with your authentic self? Will this align with all your goals? It could, or it could not. But you did stretch yourself. And again, these are all valid choices. So the next area of manifesting is possibilities. And that's the bottom left quadrant. When you're dealing in possibilities, you're more likely to sit in the moment and have a larger thought process of every possible outcome that could happen. And if you're into possibilities, you might not always choose the one that seems more likely in the moment. You might really stretch yourself. You might lean towards something that resonates with your heart, and everybody might be looking at you and saying, "What are you doing?" But you're really connecting with it. And if you're manifesting through possibilities, then you're on a more expansive playing field and you are more likely to find things in your life. But the only pitfall to living in just a place of possibility is if you can't think it, you can't dream it. See, if we're only thinking about what we know is possible, yes, we can make some amazing decisions. But if we realize that every day as we get up, we have no idea of all the things that could happen. And if we come to every situation with that opening, yes, we will contemplate possibilities, but also with the knowledge that so much more is possible than we could even know. Sometimes that is what leads us to our greatest success. It's like you just have this feeling and this knowing that this direction is going to lead you someplace. And it's not that you don't need to look at green flags and red flags and projections and budgets and people's character. Yes, all those things matter. But full potential is really unknown. And if I think about even where my life is today, I could not have written that story. And literally, there were so many times that I had to just go with it and not know. Just watch where life was taking me without a conclusion. And I guess that's the ultimate manifestation. That there's this wave coming and we go with it and we float and we make the decisions in the moment. And again, it doesn't mean you don't have a business plan and you don't use your wisdom, but there is so much more to life than we even know. And if you stay in this field, you know that uncertainty is the place you want to hang out. It's the place where your dreams can really come true. Then you're really manifesting. You choose your intention. You decide not to resist. You're in this place where uncertainty doesn't bother you. You won't be negative. You might not be always positive. You might have feelings about things, but you know there's this playing field of maybe where we're constantly able to let go. And that is the most important thing about manifesting in 2025. Knowing you can't know everything, and just because you don't know doesn't mean it's bad. But if any part of you is driving through fear and through clinging and through wanting to know, it will cloud your judgment. It will take away some of your clarity. It will create level of negativity. Can you still be successful? Of course you can. Can you be joyful? Could you be happy? Yes, yes, yes. But there are a lot of pitfalls, a lot of limitations, and a lot of disappointments when fear is driving us. And most of all, there's a lot of pain and suffering when we think life's not going the right way, or we don't believe we could have what we want. So even if you're just looking at your daily happiness, your daily experience, the moment, if we want to be free and we want to be joyful, then we have to be present enough to not judge every moment as the end and doom and gloom, and to realize that life keeps changing and life has maybe, and your dreams are real, and so much more is possible than you can imagine. So I hope you think about these things for 2025 as a way to think about manifesting as to which perspective are you going to take. Are you going to overcome your fear of the unknown? Or are you going to choose certainty? Are you going to choose probability? Are you going to choose possibility? Or are you going to play in this unlimited field where miracles happen? So ask yourself, what am I feeling about this decision? What am I feeling about my dreams? What would happen if I believed everything was possible? What would I choose? Could there be more than the possibilities I see? Do I play life too certain? Am I always looking at probabilities? Can I expand myself more in 2025? Can I just jump out there and say, I am willing to not know because I want that great relationship. I'm willing not to know because I want to start that business. I'm willing not to know because there's a job I really want. It's all up to you, but you have what it takes. And I always say that if you are seeking something, it is seeking you someplace in the universe. We just have to put ourselves in the right perspective to attract it. And let's always remember, for all we know, maybe the best is yet to come. Thank you for listening to this podcast today. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you can email me at allison@allisoncarmen.com. If you'd like to buy my books, The Gift of Maybe, A Year Without Men, Maybe Everything's Okay, A Parenting Guide to Less Stress and Worry. They're available at all major bookstores and online platforms. If you'd like to buy my Maybe cards or my Maybe digital journal, they're available on Amazon, Etsy, and my Stan Store. But most of all, if you like this podcast, I hope you subscribe and leave a comment.